Are you sick and tired of feeling uncertain about your relationship status? Does it feel like you're stuck in a never-ending loop of suspicion and distrust? Today, we're going to reveal a psychological trick that will help you determine whether or not your partner is cheating on you. This trick has been used by professionals for years, and now we are going to share it with you so that you can finally get the clarity you deserve. Before we dive into this powerful tool, let's take a moment to understand the signs of cheating. While they may seem obvious in some cases, in many relationships, infidelity can be subtle. Some common signs include sudden changes in behavior, increased secrecy, emotional distance, and a decline in communication. However, relying on these signs alone can be unreliable, as they can often be misinterpreted or explained by other factors. That's where our psychological trick comes in. This trick involves paying attention to certain verbal cues that may indicate your partner's infidelity. By recognizing these cues, you can gain insight into their behavior and intentions, helping you decide whether or not to stay in the relationship. The best part is that this method is completely harmless and non-invasive, requiring no special equipment or expertise. All you need to do is listen closely to your partner's words and observe their body language. So, without further ado, let's dive into the 8 things she says when she's cheating. No. 1. I haven't seen them in a while. When a woman says she hasn't seen her friends or colleagues in a while, it may seem innocent enough. However, if she frequently uses this phrase, especially when you ask her about her whereabouts, it could indicate that she's hiding something from you. This trick works because people who are cheating tend to downplay the time they spend with their partners. They may say things like, "Oh, I was just at the mall with a friend," when in reality they were with their secret partner. Similarly, if she claims to have been busy with work or other obligations, pay attention to how often she mentions these excuses. If it's a recurring theme, it might suggest that she's trying to cover up her infidelity. No. 2. You're overreacting. When you express your concerns or ask questions about her behavior, does she respond by saying that you're overreacting? If so, this could be a telltale sign that she's cheating on you. Gaslighting is a common tactic used by cheaters to manipulate their partners into questioning their own thoughts and feelings. By constantly dismissing your concerns and making you feel guilty for being suspicious, she's trying to maintain control in the relationship and keep you in the dark about her infidelity. This trick is particularly useful because gaslighting is often subtle and difficult to detect. You may start to question your own memory, perception, and even sanity. However, if you pay close attention to her words and stay firm in your suspicions, you may be able to uncover the truth. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on trust and open communication. If she's cheating on you and gaslighting you, it's essential to break free from that toxic cycle and seek a more fulfilling relationship. No. 3. It means nothing. Whenever a couple argues, the woman may try to downplay the importance of the issue at hand to avoid conflict. For example, when discussing their concerns about her late nights out with friends, she might say, "Oh, it means nothing. We were just hanging out." This trick is effective because it reveals her tendency to minimize issues rather than address them openly. If she consistently avoids difficult conversations and brushes off your feelings, it creates a barrier to effective communication in the relationship. This lack of transparency and emotional disconnection can be a sign that she's hiding something from you, such as infidelity. By paying attention to how she handles conflicts and whether she uses phrases like, "it means nothing," you can gain insight into her thought process and determine if there are deeper issues at play. No. 4. I'm going out with the girls. When she frequently uses this phrase, it's important to pay attention. While it's perfectly normal for her to go out with her friends, if she uses this excuse excessively to cover her tracks, it could signal infidelity. Cheaters often try to create distance between themselves and their partners, and what better way to do that than by disappearing for a night out with the girls? This trick is particularly useful because women who cheat often have a tight-knit group of friends who are complicit in their deception. By going out with the girls, she's not only covering up her infidelity, but also seeking support and validation from her accomplices. If you notice that she's using this excuse more often and returning home with expensive new purchases, it might be worth investigating further. No. 5. I work late. When she consistently tells you that she's working late, it's important to consider whether it's a valid excuse. While some women may genuinely work long hours, others may use this as a cover for cheating. This trick can be useful in determining her honesty because people who cheat often feel guilty about their actions and will try to distance themselves from their partners to avoid confrontation. By working late, she may think she can successfully hide her infidelity from you. However, if you pay attention to her behavior and notice inconsistencies in her story, such as sudden changes in her schedule or vague explanations about her work, it could be a red flag that she's cheating on you. Number 6, my phone is broken. If she frequently tells you that her phone is broken and she's unable to communicate with you, it may be a sign of infidelity. This trick is effective because people who cheat often try to limit the amount of time they spend with their partners to avoid detection. By claiming that their phone is broken, they can create distance and avoid communication, which can make it easier to carry on their affair. However, if her story doesn't add up or she seems evasive when it comes to providing details about her phone, it could be a sign that she's trying to hide something from you. Additionally, if she suddenly starts communicating with you through other devices such as a computer or tablet, it may indicate that she is aware of the limitations of her broken phone and is trying to find alternative ways to communicate with you. No. 7. I was just helping a friend. When she offers this excuse, it's important to consider the context of the situation. While it's perfectly acceptable to help a friend, if she's using this phrase to cover up suspicious behavior, it could be a red flag. For example, if you find her in a compromising position with someone else and she claims that she was just helping a friend, it's worth asking questions to get to the bottom of the truth. This trick is effective because people who cheat often try to justify their actions by claiming that they had good intentions. However, if her explanations don't make sense or seem far-fetched, it might be a sign that she's trying to deceive you. Additionally, if she becomes overly defensive or argumentative when questioned, it could indicate that she's hiding something from you. No. 8. You're not listening. When she says this to you, it's important to consider whether or not you actually are listening. Are you focused on the conversation, or are you distracted by your own thoughts and feelings? This trick is effective because people who cheat often try to shift the blame onto their partners for the breakdown in communication. They may claim that you were not listening to them or paying attention to their needs in order to avoid accountability for their own actions. However, if you reflect on the conversation and realize that you were indeed listening and paying attention, it might be a sign that she's trying to manipulate you into believing her lies. In this case, it's important to stay calm and collected and continue to investigate her behavior to uncover the truth. These tricks are not foolproof, but they can provide valuable insight into your partner's behavior. If you suspect infidelity, it's crucial to trust your instincts and take the necessary steps to protect yourself. Remember, open communication and trust are essential for a healthy and lasting relationship. If you notice any of these tricks being used by your partner, it might be time to have an honest conversation about the state of your relationship. With patience and understanding, you can navigate this difficult situation and make the best decision for your future. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching and take care.